Hello guys and welcome to a very new video, and in this new video we are going to configure AAA authentication using Tacacs. Okay, so I install Docker on my GNS3, and then I downloaded this application or appliance from the marketplace, from the GNS3 marketplace, so you can go ahead and download it after you set up Docker. If you do not know how to set it up, I'm going to leave you a link in the description below. It is a video from David, who has a great channel. I actually passed my CCNA um, because of him. He has great videos, so I'm going to add the video below so you can go ahead and add Docker, and then you can just add this appliance from the marketplace, and it's really easy to set up. All you have to do is add the appliance and then just drag it in there, and Docker is going to install the server for you. So this server actually does radios and also does Tacacs, but we're going to configure Tacacs in this video. So the first thing you need to do, let's go ahead and drag this AAA server over here. Let's go ahead and drag, let's say, a router, this router here, this other router. So we're going to use one router to remote in into another router via telnet. And let's go ahead and do, sorry for that, let's go ahead and do a switch. And let's put over here and let's start everything up. And after we start everything up, let's go ahead and um, plug everything in. So you need to go to right here, gigabit 00. Everything's going to be on gigabit 00. Then this one, the AAA server over here. And first of all, um, let's go ahead and add the IP addresses that I want to configure. So 192.168, private IP address, .1.1. This one over here is going to have .1.2 and /24. This one is going to be /24, duplicate it. And this one is going to be .100. Okay, so we need to configure that IP address for this server. So let's go ahead and open it up. Um, and this is using Linux. So if you know Linux, you need to go nano. So you can do that editor. So let you edit files in here. And then you got to go to etc. Then you got to go network. And then you got to go to interfaces. And as you can see right here, everything is commented out. So you need to go ahead and uncomment. Do this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then the default gateway, let's put it, the default gateway is going to be 192.168.1.1, which is router 1. And then let's configure the IP address to be .100. Okay. Then after that, you can just do Control X and then yes to save it. There we go. Now it's saved. If you do a cat, C-A-T, you can see the file that we have configured, and you can see it's not coming out. So it was saved. The gateway is 192.168.1.1. This one's 192.168.1.100. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to try to ping that IP address. So let's go ahead and do that. Config T, this one is going to be, let's name it router 1. Let's go to interface gigabit 0/0, IP address 192.168.1.1.0. Now shut down. Okay, so now it's up and running. Let's try to do ping 192.168.1.100, and it is not going to work. And I'm going to show you why it's not going to work. So you can see right here, we are unable to ping um, this server over here because you actually need to reboot the server. Yes, you need to reboot it, so you need to stop it, and then you need to start again. And then after that, you should be able to ping it. So do ping 192.168.1.100, and there it is. Now we are able to ping it after you so after you change the interface, you need to reboot the server, and now you can see we have connectivity to the server. Great. So now let's go ahead and do a enable um, password. Let's enable password. Let's call it Cisco. And then let's create a username. Um, username, let's call it Chris. And password is going to be Cisco. And then um, username Chris. Let's give it a privilege of 15. Okay, so this is great. Um, then after that, I want to create a new 888, a new model. And then after that, let me go back to this configuration, all of that. Let's go ahead and enable a group, and let's call it GNS3. And so authentication, and then after authentication, um, what we need to do is it authentication. Let me go ahead back. Okay, so let's go ahead and do group and server. Then after that, we do Tacacs, and then let's name it GNS3 group. There it is. Now we are inside the group, and now over here, what we need to configure, I believe we need to configure the server name and the IP address. Let's go ahead and back. So, okay, so from here you need to configure the server name, only the server name. And then after that, we got to go to Taka server and call that server name that we have done. And then we can configure the IP address and the key. Okay, so let's go ahead back. So the server name is going to be, let's call it container, or you can call it whatever you want. Now let's go ahead exit. Let's go ahead go to Takas server. And now the server name. What was the server name? Container. So let's go ahead and call container. And from container, we need to configure an IPv4 address, which is 192.168.1.100, right? On recognize command. Hmm. Oh, address 192.168.1.100. What do you mean on recognize command? Isn't it address there? Okay, address IPv4, so it is backwards. 192.168.1.100. And then we need to configure the key, which is GNS3. Okay, and this GNS3, it is the key that the AAA uses. Whenever you configure the AAA, let me see if I have it over here. Yep, I have it over here. Let's go ahead and start this. Finish. So whenever you configure that AAA server, they're going to give you this they're going to give you this information. As you can see, the raters users are Alice and Bob, and for the TACAS users is GNS3, which is the admin, and the read-only, which is a read-only account, and all the passwords are set to GNS3, and also the key is set to GNS3. That's why I set the key to GNS3 because it needs to match to the AAA server. Okay, that's good. And then after that, I believe we need to configure the line. So we need to configure the telnet, do a transport all, and then do the AAA authentication. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead to line VTY, which is um, telnet, and then after that we need to do a transport input all. That means that I want to do either SSH or telnet or any of that. Um, so after this is done, you need to do um, is it authentic? Let me see if I remember login, authentication, and then we need to use the defaults over here. Actually, is it login authentication? See if I remember login default group. So when we want to do a group, um, so we had to do it outside of the line with UI. Okay, that's what I thought. So AAA authentication, and then we got to give it a default and all that. So let's go ahead and put this down. Exit. So from here, AAA authentication, and what do we want to do? What do we want to authenticate? So we want to authenticate the login via telnet, right? and then we want to use the default over here. And from here, we want to use a group because the group that we configure a group, and the group that we want to use, we name that group GNS3 group. If you guys remember, there we go. The group we name it GNS3 group. So GNS3 group, and then what do you want to use if GNS3 group is not available? So if the AAA server is not available, what do you want to use? We want to use local, okay? And there it is, just like I have it over here, okay? And what this means is that we're going to use AAA authentication, and we want to authenticate the login to the telnet. We're going to use the default settings, and we want to use the group name GNS3 group, which is the one configured for Tacacs authentication. And if Tacacs is not available, then we're going to use the local. And if you guys remember, the local that I configured was the, let me see if I can go up. Yeah, it's not over there. So what it's going to do, let's do a do show run. So if Takas is not available, what it's going to use is going to use that username that I configure over here, username Chris with the privilege of 15 and the password is Cisco. So if Takas is not available, it's going to use that, okay? So that's what it means when I did this over here, local. It's going to use Chris's account if the Takas is not available, okay? So great. Now let's go ahead and open router 2. Here it is, router 2. And what we want to do from router 2, config T, let's give it a host name of R2. Let's go ahead and interface gigabit 00, which is this one right here. And let's configure with 192.168.1.2. Start 24. Now shut down. And this router 2 should be able to ping router 1, and also should be able to ping the AAA server. So do ping 192.168.1.1, which is router 1. There we go. We're able to ping router 1, and then we should be able to ping the AAA server as well. So we're able to ping both. So that's great. Now let's go ahead and end it. And now let's go to telnet 192.168.1.1. So now, as you can see, when I try to telnet to router 1, it's asking me for a username. And the username that we want to use needs to be GNS3 because that's the one that is pre-configured in that AAA server. So let's go ahead and log in using GNS3, password GNS3. There it is. So now, as you can see, we are logged into router 1, right? And if you do an exit, you go back to router 2, right? So that's just how it works. But what happens if we lose connection to the AAA to the server right here to the Tacacs server? What happens? Let's go ahead and try that on router 2. Let's try to telnet back to router 1. And it's saying trying. There we go. So now what is it doing? Let's go ahead and take a look. So now let's try to log into with GNS3 and then password GNS3. It's taking a second over here trying to authenticate. So what it's doing is it's trying to look for that DNS to the Tacacs server. And since router 1 cannot connect to the DNS to the Tacacs server, it cannot authenticate. But since we cannot authenticate with that, we can now log in with the account Chris and password Cisco. There we go. So now we are able to log in. So that's what happens when we do not have a connection with the server. We just cannot log in with those accounts. We can only log in with the backup, which is the local account, just like I configure. And you can actually add if you go to the I believe, let me see, cd etc. Let's try to go to this um, to the tagplus.conf, and let's see if we can. I think we should be able to edit it and add more accounts there. So let's go ahead and open that server. Okay, so from here, we want to do cd. Let's do a ls. And now from here, um, what we want to do, let's see if I did it right. cd, etc, and then Tacacs. So let's go ahead to cd, etc, and then from here, let's list it. And we should have tacacs.conf, or is tac plus. And it looks like it's not in here, is it? Okay, we need to go to the Tacacs then. So cd Tacacs. Now we're here. Let's list it, and now we have that tac plus file there. So let's go do nano tac plus config to edit. As you can see, the key right here is GNS3. Remember when I configured that key to be GNS3, that's the key right there. So let's go ahead and scroll down and let's see what we can find. Um, we can see that we have a username right here. And this user, oh, let me see, here's the GNS3 user and also the read-only user. We did not log in with the read-only user. Let's try to log in um, with that read-only user. So let's go over here and let's go and exit. Let's try to telnet. We read-only and the password is GNS3. There we go. So we are able to log in with the read-only account as well. So let's go ahead to the AAA, and what I want to do is I don't want to copy the read-only because I don't want to create a read-only account. I want to create an admin account. So let's go ahead and put it right here and then paste. Let's see if that works. So remote in admin, Junos, da, da, da. So instead of GNS3, I want it to be, let's say, Asker, member login. Let's see if that works. I don't think it's gonna work. Let's see, group, read-only, admin. So where is the password? The password, we do not see it. I believe the password is hatch. Okay, yeah, it's using DES, so the password is hatch right now in DES. So that's why it is like this. And as you can see, they are all the same because they are the other passwords for the users are GNS3. So let's just leave it like that. Let's go and hit Control X and yes to save it. Enter. Now let's see if we're able to authenticate with the Asker account, GNS3. And if it doesn't work, yep, it did not work. So let's go ahead and reboot. So let's go ahead and stop it. So stop the server and start the server again. Okay, so now let's go ahead to router 2. Let's go ahead and just exit out of here. Can you do it? We just have to, just gonna try to authenticate. I'm just trying to get out of here. Let's see if we do Control C. Doesn't work. Okay, there we go, Control C. So I stopped it. Let's go ahead and try it again. Tone it. Trying to tone it. Over here, let's try Asker now and password GNS3. It looks like it's not going to work either. Okay, so I'm not able to do that. I thought you could just configure it. So let's go ahead to cd etc, and then from etc you gotta go to Tacacs. Okay, cd, we gotta go to the root. Okay, and then from here, let's do that one. No such cd etc, not either. Ls. Hmm. Oh, because it needs to be etc instead of cd ECT etc. So now we should go to Tacacs. Um, so from here, let's just do ls um, Tacacs plus. That's what it is. Tacacs plus. So cd Tacacs plus. There we go. ls nano tac plus. Let's see key GNS3. All that is good. Default login. Good. So it has it as server juniors. Let's see if there's something that is different between them. So remote admin, let's see if we can do find where remote admin is. Admin, okay, the privilege is 15. Hmm. Yeah, it is not working for some reason. I thought you could just add a user right here, just like I did it, but it is not working. What if we just, instead of the name over here, let's just change the name maybe because they both have the same name. Let's go ahead and just say admin user 2 x yes. Um, let's go ahead and reboot the server. Stop. Start. And then now let's go ahead to router 2. And from router 2, I just want to ping 192.168.1.100 to make sure that it's up and running. Let's try it again. And it looks like it's not 192.168.1.100. We're not able to pin the TACA server. So let's go ahead and do cd etc. And then from etc, we do network and then interfaces. Make sure that the interfaces are there. But let's go ahead and do nano 192.168.1.100. So for some reason we're not able to ping it. Let's go ahead and try to ping it from here. Ping 192.168.1.100. So yeah, we're not able to, nobody's able to ping this server right here. We should be able to do that, but 192.168.1.1. Am I able to ping? Yep, I'm able to ping the router, but the server just stopped working. Let's go ahead and cancel, close. Let's go ahead and just stop it again. For some reason, it's not working. Okay, let's go ahead and start it again. Okay, close, ping 192.168.1.1. So I'm able to ping that 1.1, but that was after the reboot. What about that 1.2? Yes. What about if I'm able to ping it now? Yes, I'm able to ping it. Okay, so now the AAA, well, the server is up and running, so it's now working. Now let's see if we can tone it using Asker and then using GNS3 password. There we go. So now it is working. So it actually worked whenever I configured. So if we go to cd etc and then tacacs plus, there we go, tacacs plus, and then after that let's do nano and then tacacs So if you want to add any user, you can go ahead and do it from here. It wasn't working. I don't know why. So I just rebooted like 4 times, as you guys saw, and then it started working again. Okay. And also, if you do a debug AAA authentication is on, so you can see whenever somebody remotes into your um, router. So let's go ahead and exit. And let's go ahead and try to telnet to it. And you can see right here that somebody's trying to authenticate using the defaults. So now let's go ahead and do ask her, right? And you can see still nothing. Okay, let's do GNS3. Here we go. So I was able to remote in to the router. So let's see what happens whenever the link goes down. So let's go ahead and delete the link. Let's see what we get from the router once I'm debugging. Let's go ahead and exit. Let's try to telnet. And remember that now I won't be able to use the server to authenticate. And as you can see right here, it's saying somebody's trying to authenticate the login. So let's try using Oscar and the password GNS3. Let's see what happens over here. Here we go. As you can see over here, somebody's trying to authenticate, and we got authentication fail because we cannot access the server. So we need to use a local account. So let's go ahead and use Chris Cisco. And now I was able to authenticate using the account. So I thought I was gonna get more. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, yeah. I thought I was gonna get more stuff on it, but I did not get um, everything I thought I was gonna get, but it's okay. So now you can see how you can. Well, now you learn how you can set up this AAA server or Tacacs server to authenticate via Telnet, and then using a local account as a backup whenever the Tacacs server is not up and running, and also how to add user to the Tacacs server. So this is all for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.